Creating student agency by using a matrix and evidence-based assessment. Assessment! A teacher's nightmare and quite often worse for the students. We all hate being measured and put to the test. It's something I really struggled with as a child. Unfortunately, we are stuck with the standardised tests that the government tell us we have to do for national standards. However, for everything else, we can change our approach. If you have created an inquiry that integrates most areas of the curriculum, then why not use the things they do throughout the day to show evidence of what they can do? And why not pass the ownership over to the children? How? To start with, we can use a learning matrix, a chart that has the learning intentions, outcomes, you want the children to be able to achieve. The children can be set at different levels or stages and given most of the control over these. You have probably used these before, but we're going to take it a step further. Let's look at maths, for example. This is a topic maths matrix based on the New Zealand curriculum. It has been created in Google Docs and split into the 4 levels of the curriculum. However, you could put it into stages or groups if you don't like the children working in levels. The children will need to be placed on the matrix according to their ability and beginning of year assessment. The children are given their own matrix via a learning management system or a paper copy if you prefer. The learning management system, such as Google Classroom, will be able to make a copy of the one document for each student and store that in a folder in your drive that both the teacher and the student can access. No messing about looking through children's books. This is where you need a system in place. This is how I did it. I used 3 colours. If a learning intention was highlighted green, it was one of their next steps. I would only do 2 or 3 at a time to keep it simple. If a learning intention was highlighted blue, the student had marked the intention as complete and they had linked evidence to show this. If a learning intention was highlighted red, the teacher had signed this off as being achieved. Only the teacher is allowed to highlight in red. When you start off, it is a good idea to conference with each student about where they are and highlight their matrix off together. What they can already do in red and what are their next steps in green. This is important so that the teacher and especially the student understand where they are going. You can highlight them yourself as the teacher, but unless you explain it in person about what they have to do and how to achieve it, some students will just get lost. The student goes out and works on that learning intention. For maths, I had work to go alongside these intentions. There would be other children working on the same intention, so you can set up a workshop and activity to go with this intention. However, this allows the student to understand where they are and what they need to do to get to the next level. Those that are at a higher level will be aiming higher and should take things further, but those that can't are not trying to achieve an unrealistic intention. Once the student believes they can demonstrate the learning intention, they then have to show evidence of their learning. This can be achieved in several ways. They could take a photograph of their learning and explain what and how they achieved their learning. They can video themselves demonstrating the learning intention. They could use a Google Doc or slide or other presentation software. Once they have the evidence, they will need to link it to the intention. They will need to upload this to the cloud, the easiest being Google Drive. Find the URL of the evidence they have uploaded and copy it. In Google, you'll need to go to Share. From there, they will need to go into their matrix, highlight the specific learning intention before using the link button and adding the link to the evidence. This is why paper doesn't work so well, because the student can highlight the learning intention, but there is no evidence attached. If I was doing writing, the students had to take the learning intention they were working on and write or type it at the top of their page so the teacher and student knew exactly what they were working on. The student would need to concentrate on that learning intention specifically while completing any writing they did. The students will need to be taught this process, and it does take a bit to get going. But if you stick with it, you'll be amazed at how the children take off and achieve in the given time. A video has been created for kids to show them how this process works. A great way to get them started. All of a sudden, you will have an archive of evidence you can show parents and write about in your report. The students will also get to see how much they have achieved throughout the year. Some other really cool things you can do with your matrix. You can add links to online video lessons that demonstrate how to do the intention. You could also add exemplars to show the children the expectation. And finally, you can add activities to the intentions so that some students can practice their learning independently without a teacher telling them what to do next. So this week, create a matrix in Google Docs or other software from your school-wide learning intentions outcomes. Or you are welcome to use my topic maths matrix I have created. Create a copy for your students and share them into the document. Teach them the green, blue, red system by watching the video. You can begin conferencing your students about where they're at. There is a lot there this week. You may want to split it up into 3 to 4 weeks to get it all up and going. There's no time limit on this course, so take your time and ease into it. And in the words of Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. Yoda just has a wonderful way with words.